Hello, sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to Quantum Leap Reviews, where last time we went to hell. But we're out of hell now. We climbed out over the rainbow, as it were, and here we are in the merry old land of Oz.
Yes, apparently, in order to escape the hellscape
That,
that was Lost Girls, we decided that we should show off one of the adaptations of what they were trying to accomplish and do it 10 times better. So we went right to the source. This is
Well,
the second book.
yeah, a book that tellingly was not covered once in any of Lost Girls.
Yes,
well,
because again, I also wanted us to keep us as far away as possible from that
yeah.
lunatic.
We're free
I
of it. We're
mean,
free
there are
of it.
some contextual stuff that might, quote unquote, redeem Lost Girls, but that's not appropriate for discussion on a YouTube channel due to standards and practices.
Yes, I would like to keep my YouTube channel, but suffice it to say, Mike got to, after suffering that ordeal, got to pick whatever he wanted and predict. And shockingly, I cannot believe this happened. He picked a Wizard of Oz book.
I picked. Well, the thing was I didn't want to do the obvious thing and just pick the Wizard of Oz. I didn't want to do that because again, as I've said multiple times, even on this very podcast, I want more than just the first book to be put out there.
Yeah.
I want more and more of that book series to be shown that it's not just Dorothy's first trip into Oz.
Yeah.
There's a whole world out there.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if we all sit down and just talked about the 1939 Wizard of Oz? Can you imagine dragging me in to talk about the 1939 motion picture? I mean, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
August 28th.
Yeah, I'll get to. Oh my god, I just saw. Oh my god, I just saw the wheel. Oh no.
Yeah, the wheel is finally completed. God help us all.
The wheel's complete.
Fresno, don't look at the wheel. Don't look at one of the options on the wheel.
I'm not looking at the wheel, but instead of talking about the wheel, Mike, talk about the marvelous land of Oz.
So, this book was pretty much to get us started off. This book, Dorothy is not involved. Dorothy, from the Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Dorothy made it home. Dorothy made it home, and that was originally the only story that was supposed to be written. It was Dorothy's only trip to Oz. Frank Baum found out that, oh my god, people fell in love with this story, and eventually the story would become one of, if not the most recognizable stories in fiction. But after that, he decided that maybe he should continue the story of not just Dorothy, but continue the story of all the people of Oz. That's where we enter. We enter not in Kansas, but we start in Oz, in the northern country, following a boy by the name of Tip.
Yeah, what's interesting about this book is that for all the full title of the book is The Marvelous Land of Oz, being an account of the further adventures of the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodsman, and also the strange experiences of the highly magnified Wogglebug, Jack Pumpkinhead, the animated Sawhorse, and the Gump, the story being a sequel to The Wizard of Oz. The Scarecrow and the Tin Woodsman take a while to actually appear in the book. It takes them 40 pages to have them be mentioned in the book, and 70 pages for one of them to actually show up.
Yeah, it's very much a story. It is very much a story that is trying to tell. It's trying to tell a new story in a familiar world, and that's where Tip comes in. Tip is a orphan child who somehow, we do not know yet, but somehow found his way into the care, quotation marks, of a witch named Mombi. Mombi is not a nice character.
I'm just gonna note that the hierarchy in Oz of magic between witches, sorceresses, and wizardesses is very interesting, and not engaged with as much as you kind of want it to be.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's later on. I think it's in the Thompson books. but they mentioned that Mombi, or I think this is one of the first, but Mombi used to be the Wicked Witch of the North
Hmm.
before
Ah.
the Good Witch of the North, uh, very kindly asked her to get off her throne. Yeah, Mombi here was the Wicked Witch of the North.
I buy it.
Yep.
So we enter this story, us readers and us people joining us on the podcast. We enter this story in the middle of Tip wanting to play a little prank on this witch that he has found himself being being cared for. Uh, he decides he wants to scare her.
So he makes a
Okay.
scarecrow of his own.
So he makes a scarecrow of his own, who is, as Fresno said when he watched Return to Oz, one of the goodest boys.
Yes, Jack Pumpkinhead is the best. Well, I
Yeah,
should also mention while we talk about adaptations, and Mike, feel free to correct me, but the only 2 times I can think that this was adapted, parts of the story were adapted, were Return to Oz, where they take some of the plot elements and then do make it this is Dorothy's Return to Oz sort of story. I think they combined this and whatever book has the Gnome King in it.
Ozma.
Yeah.
Ozma. Yeah, they that and Ozma.
Yeah,
And
they sort of
again, do not include Tip.
they match two
Yeah.
books together, create some nightmare fuel, and you know how it goes. But the other adaptation, and one that I watched last summer when I made a wager with Mike to try and cool him off the stuff a bit, is
And I'm still watching Sailor Moon, and Sailor Jupiter is the best of the Sailor Scouts.
I'm a Venus girly, but y'all know this. But the thing I watched was the 1986 anime, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and I really enjoyed that. You got me with City Pop vibes, but
Yes.
they have a whole. They adapt the first 4 books of Wizard of Oz, and so there's a
No,
lengthy
not
section.
the first 4. The first 3 and the 6.
Okay, they skipped a couple. Okay, fine. Well,
Yeah, they skip. Yeah, so we don't get like Shaggy Man. We don't get a lot of.
but we
characters.
do get a pretty substantial series of episodes devoted to Marvelous Land of Oz and Tip's journey and all that.
Yeah. There a lot of adaptations. This is what I would say. Once you go past the first book, there's not really a lot of adaptations. Like the second book, you have the anime, you have Return to Oz, you have the Shirley Temple special in 1960, where she played both Tip and Ozma.
What?
And then you have like the weird adaptations from Baum's own film company from the 1910s. But like otherwise there's not a lot here.
Hmm.
Or when he wrote a play of the Marvelous Land of Oz, which is why in the front and in the back of the cover you have that this book is dedicated to these 2 actors.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Even the drawing done by John R. Neal in the front cover side of things, it draws them more like the actors performing it than the characters that he would draw in the book.
I really
Yes.
like the art in the book. It's quite nice.
yeah, it's a lot different. It's a lot different than the first book, because the first book people have said that's where Return to Oz got its scarecrow. Let's just say that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he makes them a bit softer, pugglier, and well, there's one image that is very much of the Scarecrow and Jack Pumpkinhead that's very gay, homosexual, gay.
But yeah, we get introduced to Jack Pumpkinhead, who is the goodest boy of all the goodest boys, and I love him to death in this.
Perfect. No,
Because he is seeing the eyes through a child. More than Tip. Tip is much more mature due to being with Mombi. Jack is brand new. Like, he doesn't see any color, which is weird for Oz.
And
Just-
also interesting, given the most famous adaptation of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yeah, so he doesn't see color. And to him, like, everything is a new adventure to him. So when they decide to up and run away from Mombi,
Notably because Mombi is like, oh hey Tip, I'm turning into a fucking statue tomorrow. Why are you doing that? Because I think you look nice. Now you be a good boy. You go to bed early because tomorrow morning you're gonna be turned into a statue for the rest of your fucking existence.
That, given where this book goes, that has implications for a modern reader that I'm not sure if how Baum actually engages with that fully.
yeah, that knowing where this story goes, keeping Tip as Tip,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of moments that highlight this. This is just gonna be spoilers since we usually go spoilers. Tip turns out to be a girl. Admittedly, Baum's prose does it. There are a few moments in Baum's prose that hint at this, like Tip's refusal to be referred to as a father, or some other comments. And
It's not even
like,
it's not even
the
just
main
prose.
part of it is actually with John R. Neal's artwork, which
Yeah.
draws Tip as a feminine looking child, which on first glance might make it seem like he's drawing a little boy, but there are subtle aspects of it that make her look a bit more feminine.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Awesome.
We all knew, so I knew. So looking at the art, I'm like, oh yeah, you're drawing like an androgynous child, a boy who's got these feminine features.
But again, like I need people to understand that this book was written in like 1904.
Yeah.
1904.
Yeah, 1904 would have been around the time that the word queer was being embraced by the queer community. So it was just being embraced. So phrases like calling the Scarecrow a queer king would have implications for gay people.
Which is like again, like Baum. Like some of the things Baum writes is ahead of its time, and then you look into what Baum Baum's made one mistake, one very, very, very bad mistake.
Oh dear.
Yeah. You don't need to look up the article he wrote. Fresno. You don't need to know. You don't.
What kind of awful are we
it's,
talking here, though?
Asians?
Okay, bad.
No.
No, stop. No.
No, not that one.
Deceased.
The Indians one.
Stop!
One.
Nope. Stop!
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, it's usually one of those two for that era.
Yeah.
The past was a mistake.
But
There's
anyway,
some imperialist elements to this book. With the whole nature of it is the final act is basically just we have to restore the monarchy.
yeah, it's very much and because like as we find out since we've now just we've done the opening, we can jump around a bit. Scarecrow, as said in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, he came back to Emerald City and indeed is now the head, the king. He doesn't like being the king though. He sits on his throne and he doesn't like being the king. To him like he can't use his brains like he wants to. And
probably the best part of the introduction of the Scarecrow as king of the Emerald City is blanking on her name, Jellia Jam. Jellia Jam is a menace, and I love her.
I love her. There are so many good characters in this second book.
Hey, Jellia, will you tell the Scarecrow that we're delighted to meet him? He says you're a fucking moron!
And then it turns out they're all speaking the language of Oz, which, being an English book, is of course English.
Yeah. Shirley is speaking the language.
Then why were you interpreting? Just fucking around.
But Scarecrow. But how did they get there? It must be as we learned through Dorothy's journey. It's a long way to get to the Emerald City through the land of Oz. Well, we learn. We thankfully Tip was smart enough to grab a bottle of life powder, which is what gave Jack his life. Tip takes it with Jack, and along their way, they make a lovely friend, the Living Sawhorse.
Aw,
Living Sawhorse is hilarious.
love them.
Yep.
I love all these characters. I swear to God, because all these characters are very slightly tilted. They're very slightly like most of the older characters are just enough tilted that you're just like, what? And so after that, Jack's like, I want to ride him. Huh?
Whoops.
And he takes him off all the way to the Emerald City.
Mhm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in some place close to the Emerald City, we get introduced to a bit that kind of makes sense, but yet not. We understand what he was trying to go with, but again,
Yeah,
this is written in 1904, so
Yeah, there's
eh.
yeah, For All That is very much a book that is interesting with regards to queer culture and mixing with gender identity and all that. It's no Wonder Woman. It's not Wonder Woman. I mean, it doesn't have the oh god, why element of Wonder Woman, but it lacks the full-on radical nature of Wonder Woman.
Mike, do you
Ladies
remember?
and
Do you remember last year when I was watching the anime and I got to the general and I realized what they were doing,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh
This is
no!"
Yeah, because one for one, it was almost a one for one retelling of what happened.
Yeah, pretty much what happens in the book happens
Let-
in that anime.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you General Ginger and her army of women. Ginger is an interesting character because while I want to be here, while I want to say like I like General Ginger, which is an interesting, like she's not. The thing about this book is that it doesn't have a central villain. Yes, you have Mombi. Yes, you have Ginger, but there's no like big bad like the Wicked Witch was. There was no like this is here and then oh no, you got to go stop the Wicked Witch, which is halfway through the book. It's like no, the Wicked Witch is here. This book really tried to keep it much more. No, this was an adventure.
I will say the anime did build Mombi up a little more than the
Yeah,
book.
Yeah, that's a general problem with the novel. The structure is all over the place. Like, for example, Ozma isn't introduced as an idea until basically the back third of the book. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know the exact page number. Yeah, 200. It takes in a book that's 287 pages long. Ozma isn't mentioned until page 241.
Yeah, when they go to meet Glinda. So while Jack is meeting with the Scarecrow, basically saying that we're looking for help and you're about to be deposed because the army of women is literally right behind me. And Tip has miraculously found his way to the Emerald City. Ginger, let's just say that when Ginger decides to lead the charge to take over the Emerald City, this is about the point when you start realizing, okay, he's trying to do suffragette, but then like the way he writes it, it doesn't.
Yeah.
How the best way to describe it? It's like someone trying to today. It's like if someone today was looking at the like a big ticket issue of today, but was writing it in a third-person perspective with their own prejudices clearly in the text.
Oh boy.
Yep.
So Ginger takes over the Emerald City. Literally,
Yep.
they just march right up to the castle, and Scarecrow's like, I'm gonna leave until they take off. Like literally, it's almost like in the anime where Scarecrow and then Jack are like, we gotta go see my friend, the Tin Woodsman, and off they go.
Ginger's perfect kingdom is basically just now the women get to lay around and the men do the housework. Ha 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 ha.
And it doesn't end. It honestly, the problem is that it goes a bit gender essentialist with it. So basically, the women have to go back to the kitchens because men suck at it.
Yeah, they're basically like, oh, thank God that we're going back to the patriarchy because the men really sucked at cooking and doing housework.
Do you want to know something? I think it's in Emerald City. Yeah, I think it's in Emerald City of Oz. They meet back with Ginger, and Ginger is married with a husband, but she is very much the head of the house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's femdom, but also gender essentialist femdom. So,
Yeah, it's very much like in Emerald City. It is very clear Ginger is the head of her house when she gets
William
there.
Moulton Marston has entered the chat.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I'm kind of surprised Wonder Woman of Oz has never happened.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, Planet of Oz.
No, I mean like actually have a Wonder Woman comic where she goes to Oz.
That would actually be pretty amazing.
Yeah, the problem is I think most Wonder Woman authors tend to go for Greek mythology stuff with George Perez, his era, rather than actually deal with the Marston of it all. From what I've gathered, only 2, maybe 3 have actually delved with Marston, and I still need to read. I feel like Phil Jimenez might have gotten some of it, maybe also Greg Rucka, but definitely Grant Morrison and arguably Tom King, given the whole literally writing Wonder Woman versus the U.S. government.
Oh my God.
But here's a wonderful thing. Meanwhile, while Ginger's in charge of the Emerald City, she gets a brand new court mage. Look, it's everyone's favorite Wicked Witch.
Dun, dun, dun.
Joy.
Basically, Mombi found out that Tip ran off and went, you know what, he'd probably be smart enough. And so she goes to the Emerald City.
Wait a minute, Mombi? I thought you were talking about Elphaba.
Wow.
Let me have this.
I know.
Are you defying gravity, Sean?
No good deed goes unpunished.
Oh my.
The fact that you can't the fact that is now 2 different relationships that they thought that the Wicked Witch of the West should be in. Like,
Also, fun fact, Ozma actually appears in the later books of that series.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
yeah, but
Ozma
again,
is the main character, is a supporting character in the last book, and has sex with Elphaba's granddaughter.
What?
yeah.
Yeah, Elphaba's granddaughter, who some people read as being Elphaba reborn.
What the fuck?
Welcome to Wicked. Wicked is very much
I'm not ready.
God.
I'm not ready for
They
this, Mike.
also keep the gender stuff.
Oh, of course they fucking do.
Wicked is very much I do not or Dorothy Must Die. No.
Dorothy Must Die sounds like it's bad.
Oh God, I've read.
Why did you read it?
I could only read 50 pages before I physically couldn't.
Just confirming, Fresno, are we recording?
Yes. Don't worry. I won't make the same mistake twice. I'm looking at the thing right
You already
now.
made the same mistake twice. This is the third time. This would be
Okay,
the third time.
thrice! Thrice! I won't make the same mistake thrice.
Anyway, so Bubsy 3D. You see,
Anyway, all right.
Anyway, so the scarecrow, Jack Pumpkinhead, the sawhorse, and our good friend Tip, who at this point is trying to keep everyone together because the scarecrow and Jack, even though the scarecrow has brains, scarecrow does come up with some smart ideas, but he's very much still the bumbling idiot we all know and love.
Oh, speaking of ideas, yeah, they go to confront. Uh, did we get to the part where they confront, the queen? Or am I jumping ahead?
I think you're jumping ahead.
You're jumping ahead because we're on the way to get to the Tin Woodsman. So they get
Oh,
to the
okay.
Tin.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah, so they get to the Tin Woodsman. So they get to the Tin Woodsman, and the Tin Woodsman physically embraces him. He just like, my friend.
Aw.
Yep.
This is nice.
And here's the caption for that that image with Arnie's image. Caught the scarecrow in a close and loving embrace.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they are very much pushing the fact that that these four are like a family.
Heated drama between men.
Yeah, they are like a family to each other. So while they're there, while they're there, and they make an introduction to Jack, who is very much still very curious, doesn't know what the heck is going on because his first 2 days of life have been run to the Emerald City. Oh dear God, an entire invading army's coming. Now it's time to run to the west.
Yeah, there's a lot of backtracking that makes this feel like an RPG Fest quest. Like they go to Winky Country, then they go back to Oz, then they go to Glinda, then they go back to Oz.
Yeah, so they decide, well, Tin Man's all we need. Tin Man himself is all we need to go stop the invading army. So they decide, well, let's go back to the Emerald City. We now have the Tin Woodsman. He can lead us on, and we can win against them. Mombi, meanwhile, through her magic, has found out that they went to the Winky Country, and decides to start playing tricks with them. One of the tricks, which was actually done in the anime, and actually done better in the anime than in the thing, they decide to use attacking sunflowers.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's going full Cuphead on us.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, attacking sunflowers, just anything. Mombi is not a good Wicked Witch.
Yep.
It turns out Mombi is not the best Wicked Witch.
Mombi gets by with tricks, basically, except even those fail her.
Yeah, she doesn't understand a lot of what she doesn't. She is not like the Wicked Witch of the West from the previous book. She is very much a bumbling, doesn't know what to do. Like she is evil. No, like I'm gonna state this for the fact she is evil. But on that tier scale list, whatever, she's like 3 steps below like the Wicked Witch of the West. And
if the Wicked Witch of the West is Jonas Venture, then Mombi is the Monarch.
Yeah.
Is it time to talk about the best character who hasn't been adapted yet, or?
I think he's here.
Oh.
Sean, is he here or is he after?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, so he comes now. Okay.
Love this.
Yeah.
Love this.
So you lead us in. I've done this up to this point. It is Sean, your turn. Lead us into one of the best characters of Marvelous Land.
H.M. Wogglebug. Is a giant bug with a dapper hat. He is absolutely charming.
I love
and a delight. Like, his origin is literally a Winsor McKay gag where he comes out of the film screen to greet the audience of children.
See, I was thinking something else because the whole origin is he was a little bug and he was living in a school, and he heard all, and for many years he heard all the lessons that were being taught. And then one day the teacher found the bug, picked it up, and was like, "Hey class, look, it's a Woggle bug. Let me put it on the projector and magnify it for you." And then and then his magnified image walks out off of the projection and is just human sized. He literally runs on Weeping Angel rules. The magnification of the Rogglebug became a Rogglebug.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he-
literally the shtick that Winsor McKay would do all the time in his theatrical shorts.
And he
It's like
doesn't, and he's not like angry, or he's not. He's very much a loving, like a very kind person. He will go and talk to the children and be like, "Hello," and he actually tells them a bit of being like a Wogglebug. He doesn't know much, but he wants to know much.
He's a dapper gentleman. I adore him. I adore his intro. Yeah, I mean, I make the funny Doctor Who joke, but Winsor McKay is, more timely considering the turn of the century and all.
But like, what's kind of hilarious is that the whole reason they find him on the way back the first time to the Emerald City is, once again, he's on a journey. He wants to learn, and so when he meets these new individuals, they're new to him. So again, he's experiencing something new.
Yeah, and also
And so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna follow you guys.
and they have a plan, and they even have a plan B because they find the queen of the field mice, and they're like, "Hey, can we have some mice to scare away them women's in the Emerald City?" "Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go. Take a ride in the Scarecrow, girlies."
Yeah. It's kind of funny how, like, they even go like, "Hello, my dear friend. How are you today?" It's like, "Well, we need some help." And so, okay. So they take like 20 of her best soldiers, all in the Scarecrow. Scarecrow is like, he's doing like the twist as he walks now because of all the mice. And so he stumbles, and so they make it into the castle, or they make it into the Emerald City, and turns out, maybe the Tin Woodsman alone was not the people they needed.
Whoops.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ginger has taken over the Emerald City and is basically refusing to let go of the throne, so they come up with a bunch of suggestions. Hold on, I'm trying to find which page of this. Because it's very interesting, the implications of what they claim as the arguments and who makes these specific arguments.
Yeah, they try to do diplomacy with her, but
Yeah,
again,
hold on, I know the third. Yeah, hold on, let me see.
Here, hang on.
Yeah, hold on. God damn it.
There.
Where are you
we're
guys-
very much.
Let me help you out there.
Oh.
Think you want that?
No, those are the arguments, but I forgot who made those specific arguments. Yeah, like, the first suggestion, I think, by the Tin Woodsman is marry the Queen. Send, Jack, I think Pumpkinhead makes a suggestion to send her back to her mother. Tip, rather interestingly, suggests to, and I quote, shut her in a closet until she behaves, which at the time probably referred to the bedroom, was a euphemism for the bedroom, and didn't have the queer connotations that does now. Oh, that wouldn't happen in the 60s.
But yeah.
The Scarecrow suggests shaking her until she gives up, and Wogglebug suggests to bribe her.
Yeah, may I remind you that fourth option is because if people don't understand this, in the first book, because people don't know this, people think that it's a lot more lighthearted. No, in the book, the Scarecrow killed crows by snapping their necks.
What the
By
fuck?
shaking them.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, it turns out that Ginger does not want to deal with diplomacy. So the Scarecrow's like, release the mice, and they all have to run.
Which again is
Yeah.
very much going in the obvious stereotypes.
Yeah, very much so. Like they even go on like some of the girls are like these supposed to be strong, and yet oh no, the girls, even the strong ones, are afraid of these tiny mice. Like, so then we meet our final member of this party. They have locked themselves in the wizard's former study, and they don't know how to get out.
Yep.
So if I do remember, it's either the scarecrow or the wogglebug comes up with the idea, or Tip comes up with the idea, why not just fly out of here?
And how do they fly out of there?
By hastily crafting together a flying machine and sticking a gum pen on it and bringing it to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you? I think the only now I like Return to Oz's variant of it. Like that Gump is very much like, what am I doing? Why? Why did you do this? This Gump, on the other hand, is very much like, wait, what happened? What? Why am I here? What's going on?
Please help me.
Please. Like he
This
doesn't
is
know.
not my beautiful house. This is not my beautiful life. Ba da 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 da.
Let the water flow me.
This Gump is very confused and concerned because he doesn't know what the hell happened. And he literally says, the last thing I remember is a loud flash and a big bang.
Oh God.
Yeah, bro got hunted, died, and he's now just a head attached to a bed with some palms as wings and flying out of a castle tower.
He remembers dying, and the next thing he remembers is being the Gump, is being this flying machine.
God.
And so he very much is like, is this what, like, he originally thinks that he's dead, like he's still dead, and that all the, but then he's like, but then he realizes, oh, if I'm alive again, this is like a second life. I've been reborn. And then they have this weird thing about like rebirth, I think a bit.
It's okay. It's okay because the Gump is just getting ahead in life.
Oh God.
I don't know if Kat listens to these, but
okay, I forgot to mention this. The thing about that's more fucked up about Jack Pumpkinhead is that he is described as having a grim voice. Like you would think he'd have sort of a whimsical voice, like the way the Wizard of Oz films did.
Yeah, like Return to Oz very much makes him like almost like a child. Well, not like
same with Wonderful
Yeah,
Wizard
he's a
of Oz.
child with a grim voice, which means I kind of want Richard Drake to play him.
I also love, speaking of fucked up, is how Jack Pumpkinhead is more aware of his mortality than others. He's just like, oh yeah, I'll probably rot in a few days.
He's very...
characters' bodies literally come apart all the time in this book. We lose the Scarecrow's stuffing comes out and they have to restuff him.
Oh,
Jack
I love
Pumpkinhead
this!
repeatedly loses his head.
Oh, we're coming up on
Yeah,
the stuffing scene, and the solution to that is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
they crash into the desert, right, or somewheres, I don't know, outside.
No, they crash. They crash in like a they crash in like a mountainous region, and that like all these gigantic birds.
Yeah, who they're like, I guess Oz's version of like magpies. They just pilfer shiny things and have an entire like stash of treasure. So
the anime would literally take this and go, you know what, they're dragon.
yeah, but
yeah, the anime.
I love the solution. They're like, oh no, Scarecrow has all his stuffing plicked out. What are we gonna do? Fill him up with treasure. Fill him up with money.
Yeah, it turns out. Yeah,
and it pays off by the fact that at the end of the book they make him the treasurer of Oz.
Yeah. Like he literally they pull out all of his stuff. Like they have to he gets unstuffed. So they're like, quick, fill him with treasure. That can work. But then he's like, I want to keep my brains, please. And so that is the only thing of his still stuffed with straw.
God.
With the brains that the wizard gave him, because he's very protective of it.
And then, well, after that, they go and are like, "Hey, Glinda Goodwitch, help!" And you know,
Yeah.
and Glinda Goodwitch, you know, I don't know if this is characteristic of her prior appearance in the first book or not. It's just like, hey, you know what? Let's storm Oz with my army of soldiers.
No, you want to know something? Glinda is literally seen for like only like the last like 3 to 5 pages of the first book.
Oh wow.
This is the first time where you get to see her fully as a character. And in the first book, they say that she is the most powerful witch of Oz. Yeah, you find out real quick why here.
Yeah.
She has an army.
Yeah. So Glinda, so they make it to Glinda, and Glinda, Glinda is very happy to see the Scarecrow and the Tin Man, but she's, interested at the new guest. But when she meets them, she's like, she says, like, I will not help you retake the throne. He goes, like, why? And she says, because you took it from the wizard. Well, the wizard took it from the rightful ruler of Oz.
Again, this is 241 pages into the book.
Yeah, and so we finally get the truth about the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz landed in the final days of the Mortal King. He landed in the final days of the Mortal King, Pastoris. The king dies while the wizard is there. The wizard, being not the best person to judge of character, decides in his infinite wisdom to protect himself from the East and West Witch, decides he has to become the ruler of the Emerald City. But he can't, because there is a daughter, because the king left behind a child. Ozma.
Who disappeared.
Who disappeared off the face of Oz.
And conveniently, someone had conversations with the wizard right before she disappeared. Mombi.
Yeah. So Glinda tells them, I will help you I will help you defeat Ginger, only to go get Mombi and put the rightful ruler of Oz back where she belongs. Yeah. Then the next part, you get to know a bit. It talks a bit about Glinda. Glinda's freaking terrifying.
Just a bit.
Yeah, like she is not one to trifle with. I'm honestly shocked that she herself did not destroy the Wicked Witch of the West.
Which, again, is probably the best argument for Wicked, being, well, she's kind of my best friend, and I did kind of fuck her over, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, and then you have Oz the Great and Powerful.
No!
I haven't spun it on the wheel yet.
It is on the wheel, but only one of us has to watch it.
Oh, wait. Just Mike or?
Mike, just only Mike.
Oh, lovely.
But yeah, so Glinda decides once and for all.
Oh no, we all watch Oz the Great and Powerful. Only Mike has to watch Muppet Wizard of Oz.
Which isn't bad. Again, I didn't mind it as a kid. That was also my first introduction to Quentin Tarantino, which is funny.
Yep.
But off they go back to the Emerald City, now followed by Glinda. And Ginger is flipping the heck out.
And this is where we see Mombi's incompetent schemes. Like, first she's like, "Oh, you know what? They want me. Hey, interpreter lady, you're Mombi now. Poof. Go out there and surrender yourself, or we'll do bad things to you.
Yeah, yeah, good luck with that when you have literal freaking Glenda on there.
Worked for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it works for like 2 seconds until Glenda decides that she has a lasso of truth. Like it's
Again,
literally a
really should have a Wonder Woman comic set in Oz.
yeah. This is literally the lasso of truth. And so she asks, and then they just said like, "Oh my God, it's and the Scarecrow's like, "Oh my God, it's my interpreter."
And then Mommy's like, you know what? I'm going to hide in the castle. And Ginger's all, yeah, you can have Mombi. If you can find her in the castle, you have until sundown. And Mombi has transformed herself into a rose, which, though they fail the deadline, the Tin Man picks the rose and is like, ooh, pretty flower.
Yep. Sadly not blue rose, just a traditional giant red rose.
Well, that
Yeah,
would be far too symbolic if they did that.
Yeah, it turns out that they in fact won the game. So Mombi flips the hell out and she's like, I gotta get out of here.
Turns into a griffin and Glinda chases her through the fucking sky. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Glinda is had enough of this. Very much Glinda's had enough of everything.
And then we get
So
the great reveals.
Then we get the great reveal after Glinda drags Mombi back to the Emerald City. We find out the truth. The wizard did meet with Mombi and gave her something in return to keeping his secret. He gave her the rightful ruler of Oz, the child, a girl. But Tip is like, but I don't remember any girl, with us. Does the Waka Book figure this out first? I think he does. But it turns out that Mombi turned the girl into a boy.
Well, the
Tip, our friend Tip, who has been leading this group all across Oz, is in fact the rightful ruler of Oz, Ozma.
What a twist.
Just gonna sidetrack before we get into the Ozmaville. An interesting detail that I noticed while reading it was the wizard actually does know magic. Like, it's not just all smoke and mirrors. There is actual magic.
Mirrors, huh?
Yeah, it is actually this is actually something that is brought up again later, but it is mentioned here at the beginning, but it is brought up later that Glinda actually teaches the wizard some magic. It's Glinda who teaches him magic.
Well, how about that?
And so, but again, he doesn't know. Even with the magic he knows, there was no way he was going to be able to stop the wicked witches, which is what led him to locking himself away until Dorothy appeared. Dorothy literally was like a miracle that fell from the gods.
Oh, well, got tornadoed up by the gods, however you want to put it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah,
Ozma.
Ozma. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Ozma's probably one of my favorite characters, mainly because even as Tip, she is very tenacious.
Yeah, feisty kid.
She is feisty. She can hold her own. She can do, she is very much can stand on her own 2 feet. Eventually, she would create a palace that is full of children, involving Bobby, Betty, Betty, Trot, while Captain Bill is off sailing, Dorothy. Basically, Ozma's castle is full of her friends.
Hey, you were talking about this like last time, the Ozma invites Dorothy to her castle. It's like, oh, only my most trusted friends can be in my castle and in my personal chambers and stuff like that. And
Yeah, personal chambers.
as Sean said, gay, homosexual, gay.
Yeah. So Tip says, I don't want to be. I don't want to change. What was it? I don't want to change. Which has some connotations now in the present.
Just a bit.
Yeah. I mean, trans people have always existed, but whether or not Baum was aware of trans people is up for conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Or for that matter, how deep into the queer community L. Frank Baum was.
Yeah, because Baum, the way it's written here, which is how Sean actually told me, and it actually does make sense. Either he is a trans male who doesn't want to be transitioned, which that's a whole bad thing we're not talking about.
I don't know.
Or he's a trans female
Who's closeted.
Yeah, the latter definitely. I think a lot of trans people latch on to the latter. Notably, I've mentioned her before. Amy Schneider, who won like 30 games in a row in Jeopardy, once said that she's trans, and she once said that she has a tattoo of Ozma because Ozma was incredibly important to her and her own self-discovery. So,
yeah.
So
there's
also the notions of evil magic, wherein you can't use magic to disguise yourself as something that you're not.
Exactly.
Which again could have some implications, but I feel like is better written in something like, say, Loki, Agent of Asgard, where Loki is able to shapeshift into anything as long as it's Loki.
So, Glinda decides. So, after talking with everybody, and everyone 100% says whoever you want to be is fine. But he decides, and Glinda, at the very end of the book, turns her back into her rightful form. Ozma, Princess of Oz, and they gave her the wrong freaking hair color.
Yeah, that's literally the only difference between how Neil draws Tip and Ozma. Tip has short black hair. Ozma has long blonde hair.
Yeah, basically the implication is that after this, Ozma changes her hair color back to how she had it as Tip. Which that's how you got her famous look, which I like her famous look. Which that look is actually one of the first things on film, which I have right here. As I said before earlier, L. Frank Baum made a movie company back in the early days of film to have some of his books and stuff be shown off to little kids and stuff like that. And one of the first things was a moving picture of Ozma. In the very beginning of the movie, you had Ozma shown off in the beginning. That is how she looked. So even back then, the flowers and the crown.
That's good.
I will say this, even for this book being not with a direction, I kind of like it because again, he wrote this book as an adventure, not a we must get to B. We start at A to get to B. It's no, we are on an adventure, and during our adventure, we found out that that something bad occurred, and we must put it right.
Again, the journey literally is A, B, C, B, D, E, B.
Yeah, so, but it is putting a right that went wrong.
Hey! It's the point of the podcast!
Yeah, it turns out that even when I pick something, it'll lead back to Quantum Leap.
Now, now there's a Quantum Leap. I know that the new show did a trans episode, but Imagine a leap where you leap into a transport, and the right you have to put wrong is they never transitioned and they never lived as their true self.
Yeah, that could be interesting, though there would be probably some implications with that regarding, uh, for example, what is the context of their existence,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you
and
had to
how
work
would
on
that be framed?
you had to work on the finer points, of course, but as a general concept.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting story.
But yeah,
Overall, do we want final thoughts?
yeah, sure. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I guess we're on final thoughts now.
Uh, Overall, I think this was a pretty good book. Admittedly, it's more because of Baum's writing style than his approach as a structure. The structure is a mess. It's just
Yeah, this
all over the
book,
place.
like I've said before, this book is very much like this book is very much like a. We've covered stories. We've funny enough we've covered stories like this before, where it's very much oh god, I need all the pieces to be shown for future. But now I don't know what to do with. So I'll show everything off now, and then you'll get the actual stories later. But I do really like again, as I've said, I want Oz to be more than just Wonderful Wizard, more than just Dorothy and Scarecrow, and I want people to realize that there are 75 books
Jesus.
that the Oz Historical Society have said this is the canonical thing of Oz. 75 books.
And most of the adaptations tend to go for the movie.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
most adaptations tend to turn like they forget that they don't even go towards the books. It's all towards one movie in 1939 that originally bombed at the box office.
Oh, yeah. Wait, so it bombed, but let me guess, it was like one of those things where
Media.
Ted Turner,
Yeah, homie.
Ted Turner being like, "Hey, I can buy the rights to this for $1 and show it for 24 hours."
No. It was in the 1950s when it was on television.
Okay, even before that. Okay, I think I'm thinking of "It's a Wonderful Life."
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life is a thing, but yeah, Wizard of Oz came into the 50s, and now it's well known to being playing in the Christmas season. Yeah, people just think of the 1939 Wizard of Oz when there's really so much more to Oz than just Dorothy in the original story.
Watch the Wonderful Wizard of Oz anime.
Yeah, if you want a good adaptation that's more than just one story, but over multiple of the stories, there is the anime. If you want a wonderful adaptation of Ozma herself, like, yes, it doesn't have Tip in it. It doesn't have her switching from Tip to Ozma, but it is really dark, but it is a gripping story. Go watch Return to Oz by Disney.
Well,
Fantastic story. Fantastic story. Yes, that is also iffy, but you have to deal. But Oz is meant to be that. It's meant to be an adventure, but it's not. It does not shy away from the darker points.
So yeah, I was charmed by the book. I've never read an L. Frank Baum before. This is not one of my childhood books, but as a children's book, it was very breezy and enjoyable. Maybe it could have been better structured in a lot of ways, but it sort of had that manic sugar rush energy of we're going here and then we're going here and then we're going here. Just vibe with it. Just quick little bite-sized adventures, and the whole Tip and Ozma thing, which I enjoy. I enjoy the power of that. I think this was a neat book.
I'm trying to remember what the first book was with Trot and Captain Bill. I'm trying to remember which one was Trot and Captain Bill, because those two are hilarious. Or the Shaggy Man.
Trot first appears in the Sea Fairies.
No, when they first come to Oz. Not their before Oz takes. I'm talking about when Trot and Captain Bill comes to Oz.
Scarecrow of Oz?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have that book. I can read that after the podcast.
Yay, nice. Well, speaking of ending this podcast, any more thoughts, anybody, on the Marvelous Land of Oz?
I will just say this: if you want a funny story, if you want and if you want something more than just the Wonderful Wizard, pick a book up. You don't need to have read all the other Oz books to get it. You can pick the ones that you like the most. That's the thing about Oz. Yes, you could get some bits and pieces, but they're meant to be picked up in any order.
Nice. So, go ahead.
I think the only ones that are more connected than most are the first six. Wonderful Wizard, Marvelous Land, Ozma, Dorothy and the Wizard, where Dorothy meets the Wizard again. They end up in two again. With the Wizard and his 10 little piglets. That's an entire thing.
Oh,
The Road to Oz, where Dorothy and Scraggy Man with a trinket where whoever wears it or whoever holds it, everyone falls in love with. And at the end of that one, Ozma ties it to the gates of the Emerald City. So everyone in the Emerald loves everybody. Loves everybody else.
Oh my gosh.
And then the Emerald City, which is where Aunt Em and Uncle Henry come to Oz.
Oh, so, all right. Well, Mike has gotten his redemption, his healing from that other book that we did last time. So now it's Sean Dillon's turn. What will it be?
Well, I was inspired by Mike picking the Wizard of Oz, going for an angle of going for what Alan Moore was engaging with, and seeing what is better without Alan Moore's ideas. For my pick, however, I'm going to go on the opposite end and go with what Alan Moore was trying to do. Tell a story that's semi-fantastical about the sexualities of young teenage girls.
Oh no.
One with beautiful art that is brilliant and amazing and kind of surrealist. It's one that focuses on the uncomfortable aspects of sexuality, even as it describes its beauty and glory and all that jazz.
Am I allowed to
As
talk
such,
about it on this channel
there is
without?
quite frankly only one option I can have for this.
Am I allowed to talk about it on this channel without being in trouble?
Yeah, I think you can. It's not porn.
Okay, good.
In fact, you actually watched it recently.
I did?
Yes.
What did I watch recently?
We're going to be talking about the adolescence of Utena.
Oh, Jesus!
God, I knew.
Yes!
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Future me, you're putting up a meme edit of the sickos guy leaning against the wall, except it's my face. Yes! Yes!
Hello. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be talking. Oh God, you do realize that if Kat finds out about this,
I'm drafting Kat. If it's possible, I am drafting Kat.
Drafting her? Do you honestly think I would do something like this without having all the places in there? I drafted her 35 seconds ago.
Wait, that means, oh God, she's gonna be in the Quantum Leap Reviews podcast. Oh God.
Yeah, I literally checked the messages and it's there. Oh boy. Oh, Mike, Mike, don't worry. This is a good movie. You're gonna be very confused, but just vibe with it, okay? It's just vibe with it.
Now I've heard of you two, how you two love this series, so I'm gonna give it a chance.
I mean, it took me a bit to get into the series as a whole, mainly because I got in through the Black Rose arc and
I'm just gonna say this
over the course of a single day, which is
I
a
genuinely
bit repetitive.
thought he was gonna pick Alice in the Country of Heart. from how he was
I
describing.
was thinking of Alice too, but yeah, this.
I thought not Alice in Wonderland. Alice in the Country of Hearts, or the city, or it's. Yeah, I thought he was gonna pick the. From how he described it, I thought he was going that way.
Okay. Ooh, good. Okay. All right. Next time on Quantum Leap Reviews, it's gonna be the Adolescence of Utena, which is
Yeah,
oh my
and
God.
then but here's the thing. After this, we go back to the wheel for our final spin with rerolls.
Yeah, we do. But we're gonna worry about talking about actual Quantum Leap on this Quantum Leap Reviews podcast next time. But until then, you can find us, lovely
Wait,
people.
no, we haven't done. No, we haven't even done. Where can you find us, lovely?
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh.
Until that, you can find us lovely people on Bluesky down below. I have a blog, Fresno'sRavingMans.blogspot.com, and I really should be writing about Utena. Maybe rewatching Adolescence will stir the pot in me and get me on that. Mike has a blog where he talks about some stuff and things. Sean is doing critiques somewhere. You just did.
And
one.
I'm going to be starting a podcast soon.
Hey, your very own. Welcome to the club.
And the first episode's on something that we all love and enjoy.
I'm going to say it again, live on air. Mike, you are getting 2 Wizard of Oz podcasts this week. I don't ever want to hear about that goddamn game again. You have been treated...
So you're going to be wanting to play Emerald City Confidential? I never knew that, Chris.
All right, Sean, anything else to plug? You're starting your podcast. You wrote about a cool comic book. You did a really good review, actually, a little while ago.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, just a review of Hello Sunshine, and by the time this podcast comes out, I will have done a massive piece on the entirety of Alien.
Ooh, that sounds neat.
Hello and welcome. Yeah, hello and welcome to Alien, in which Scott Ridley himself screws it up in one of the movies.
I will fight you on that.
Before we can fight about the merits of the Prometheus motion pictures, good night, everybody. Thank you for watching this podcast on the Marvelous Land of Oz, and we hope you will join us for next time on Quantum Leap Reviews, the last of our detours as we discuss the Adolescence of Utena. Say good night, kids.
Good night, everybody, and hopefully after next time we will get something like the Boogeyman, which we will be joined by.
You want to draft Rain, I know. All right. Bye, everybody.